today we're going to be talking about linking numbers by multiplying. So the first part is, what is the missing number? So we need to first of all think about what is the reciprocal of 13. So the reciprocal of 13 is what I times by 13 to get to 1, and I times by 1/13. Okay, so now I can times by 1/13 to get to 1. What do I times by 1 to get 22? Well, I just times by 22. So 13 times 1/13 gives me 1. But if I times that by 22, I get 22. So this part here in the middle is the missing number, and we just have to group those two together to find out what it is. So 13 lots of 22, or 22 lots of 13, gives you 22/13. So that is what my missing number is to get to 22. Let's have a go at another one. How about this one here? So first of all, I have to think about what the reciprocal of 2/3 is. So again, what am I timesing by 2/3 to get to 1? Well, I'm timesing by the reciprocal, which is 3/2. Okay, so now I know what to times by to get to 1. I need to find out what I times by 1 to get to 5. So again, I'm timesing by the reciprocal, 3/2, to get to 1, and then I times by 5 to get to 5. So this part here is my missing number, and I have to combine those two together. So I have 5 lots of 3/2. So 5 times 3 is 15. So 15/2 is my missing number. And this is the general case for any numbers. So now we're going to talk about proportional reasoning grids. Any set of 4 numbers on the times table grid have similar multiplicative relationships. So here I have 4 numbers, 2, 4, 10 and 20. The multiplicative relationship between 2 and 4 is I'm timesing by 2. I could also go the other way. From 20 to 10, I'm timesing by a half, or dividing by 2. They're the same thing. What about going from 10 to 2? Well, I'm timesing by 1/5, or dividing by 5. And from 4 to 20, I'm timesing by 5. So let's have a look at another one. To get from 3 to 9, I'm timesing by 3. To get from 3 to 21, I'm timesing by 7. Going backwards from 63 to 9, I'm timesing by 1/7, or dividing by 7. And to get from 63 to 21, I'm timesing by 1/3. So these numbers 3 and 1/3 are the reciprocals of each other. 7 and 1/7 are reciprocals of each other. So they're the easy case. Let's have a go at something a little bit trickier. So now I've got 6 and 16, 6 and 15. I don't know exactly what numbers go straight into those numbers, but I can think about what times table the highest common factor of 6 and 15, and then I can put a little stepping stone in to get from 6 to 15. So the highest common factor of 6 and 15 is 3. So now I can think of, what do I times by 6 to get to 3? Well, I times by a half. A half of 6 is 3. And to get from 3 to 15, I times by 5. So overall, I can combine those two. 5 lots of a half is 5 halves. So that's what I times from 6 to get to 15. I times by 5 halves to get to 15. We can also go from 6 to 16 by using our stepping stone again. Oh, and obviously the same to go from 16 to 40 is I'm timesing by 5 over 2. Okay, so a stepping stone to get from 6 to 16, we're thinking about the highest common factor of 6 and 16. Well, they're both in the 2 times table. So what do I do to get from 6 to 2? I times by 1/3. And to get from 2 to 16, I times by 8. Okay, so overall, I would times by combining 8 and 1/3, I've got 8/3. Okay, and that'd be the same going on the bottom. To get from 15 to 40, I would times by 8/3. Okay, sometimes you have slightly different examples, like this one here, where you can still use a stepping stone, but that stepping stone's going to be slightly different because I don't know what times table 2 and 7 are in, but I do know they're in the 1 times table. So we say that these numbers are co-prime because they don't have they're prime numbers. So what do I times by 2 to get to 1? I times by 1/2. And 1 to get to 7, I times by 7. So overall, I would be timesing by 7 over 2. I could also go the other way. 2 and 13 are both co-prime as well, so they're both in the 1 times table. To get from 2 to 1, I'm timesing by 1/2. And from 1 to get to 13, I'm timesing by 13. So overall, I'm timesing by 13 over 2. So either way, it doesn't matter which way you're going. It's going to be quite tricky either way because these are horrible numbers. But I could go 7 times 13 over 2. Or I could go 13 along the bottom times 7 over 2. And both ways, 7 times 13 is going to give you 91. And 13 times 7 is also going to give you 91. So it doesn't matter which way around you go, you'll still get 91 over 2. And that will be the answer in the little corner on the side.